We get it going right now with the president of baseball operations of the New York Mets. It is David Stearns. Good to visit with you, David.
Thanks for having me.
I'm not sure this was the news we were expecting to open with tonight, but the news that Kodai Senga is going to begin the year on the IL. So just fill us in exactly on what's going on and what the prognosis is.
Yeah, look, this is baseball, right? And injuries happen. This is why we prepare for having more than 26 players over the course of a season, and certainly more than 5 starting pitchers. In the case of Kodai, he was experiencing some fatigue after his bullpen sessions. He did the right thing. He told us. We got an MRI yesterday. Doctors looked at him this morning, and we've got a little bit of a strain in the posterior capsule of his right shoulder. And so we're going to shut him down and wait for these symptoms to subside. We know he's going to likely not be ready for opening day. We know this is probably an IL to start the year. But we aren't overly concerned and certainly believe that he's going to make a lot of starts for us this year.
So you hear the words posterior capsule, and you start thinking about capsule injuries. You think about like a former Met, Johan Sanatana.
Sure.
He had an anterior capsule that in many ways ended his career. What's the difference between those two?
So there are lots of variations on all these types of injuries. The anterior is generally considered the more serious capsule injury. Those are the front of the shoulder, the posterior capsule, the back of the shoulder. There are different degrees of these injuries, strains, tears, mild, moderate, severe, all those things. In this one, we think that Kodai did the right thing. He told us when he was feeling some fatigue. We were able to get it screened, imaged, and examined. And now it really is just letting these symptoms calm down and letting him build back up and go through a normal progression. So, look, it's always unfortunate when you have injuries. It's also a part of the game, and it is a part of going through a full season. We expect to have players on the IL over the course of the year, and we need to adjust, and it's our responsibility to adjust.
All right, so how do you adjust? Do you look now back at the free agent market? Do you look from within? What's the game plan?
So we feel good about the guys we have in-house. We have a lot of depth in our starting rotation. It was part of our off-season strategy to bring in players who could fill in our rotation and to allow to have guys like Tyler McGill, Jose Budo, Joey Lucchesi, and a number of our younger starters now just getting to AAA, who we believe are going to have the opportunity to pitch for us this year and continue to their development and help us have success at the major league level. So we feel good about the guys who we have who can backfill. We're going to expect guys to step up. That's part of a Major League Baseball season, is having guys step up, do a little bit more than maybe they were thinking they were going to need to do at the front end of the season, and I believe that our guys will.
Is it tempting for you, and I understand the limitations that you're facing, but is it tempting if a guy like a Snell or a Montgomery would do a 1-year or a 2-year contract? Is that something that you would contemplate?
Without commenting on any specific player who's available, I'll say, look, we're always in contact with player representatives. We're always talking to other teams. We're always evaluating what's out there to see if it could make sense, and that will continue.
Yeah, was the phone ringing heavily this morning when this news came down?
No, I think every team expects to go through something like this. This isn't. You never know exactly what it's going to be, but you understand you're going to have injuries. That's a part of going through a full baseball season, and we're prepared for that.
You've got a number of good young pitchers in the organization who are knocking at the door, Mike Vassell, Christian Scott, to name a couple. What's the thought process on guys like that?
So those guys, what we're most cognizant of for them and what they need to be most cognizant of is getting ready for their seasons. We believe all of those guys have the ability to impact our team over the course of the year. I think some of them will over the course of the year. We're most focused right now. Let's get ready. Let's let them get ready for their season and continue their development.
All right, David, great to visit with you. I know this was not, again, the news you wanted to start with today, but look forward to the season, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it.
It is David Stearns, the president of baseball operations with the New York Mets.